This video demonstrates how to rotate a bitmap using JavaScript and the EaselJS code library. You see here the sample running on my local drive with the bitmap rotating, and notice that the bitmap is spinning around the center point. I want to start off by going right to the key concept and making this work. Let's go take a look at the code. I want to point right here to where I'm using a pair of properties of the bitmap object called regX and reg-y. These two properties specify an offset for a registration point. I'm going to comment these properties out, save my changes, and reload the web page. And see what happens? Now the bitmap is rotating around the upper left corner. So, back to the code. I'll remove the comments, save the file, and reload the web page. And see, now the bitmap is rotating around the center point again. Let's take a closer look at the code. Again, regX and reg-y are coordinates for a registration point that the EaselJS bitmap object's rotation method uses to set the center point when rotating a bitmap. See in my code that I set regX and reg-y to be half of the bitmap width to the left and half of the bitmap height down. So I'm specifying a point which is the center of the bitmap. And this point is then used as the center point for the rotation method. If no registration point is set, the bitmap rotates around the upper left corner. If a registration point is set, the bitmap rotates around the registration point. It defaults to the upper left corner. Use the registration point to override. So to wrap up, I'll take about 60 seconds and give you a quick walkthrough of the rest of the code. In the init function, I created an image object and registered an event handler for the image object's onload event. The effect of this is to ensure that the rest of the code doesn't run until the image object finishes loading. In the event handler, I create the bitmap object, scale it, and place it on the page, then add it to the EaselJS stage object, then finally create the ticker object, set its speed, and specify the tick event as an event listener. Finally, down here in the tick event, each time the event fires, I rotate the bitmap object 8 degrees and update the stage to show the change. And that's it. I'll show you here the online version of the sample. The code and resources are also available as a download from GitHub. See the following slide for details.